The Citizen Report is a production of New Shannon Media. All content protected under copyright.
And welcome to the Citizen Report Special Bulletin. I'm Jonathan Shannon, and thank you for joining me tonight. As always, this newscast is real, in-depth American. So glad everyone can join me. My co-host, David Heller, is off tonight. Well, I wanted to do this special bulletin because we have as I mentioned on last night's broadcast, a tropical system developing in the tropics. And since that broadcast, we have seen in pretty robust strengthening of the storm, and now the forecast itself is changed drastically, and that's why part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and come on here and do this report about this, because one of the areas that we try to cover, we don't do everything with weather, but we try to cover some of the major stuff with weather. We try to do at least some of the general stuff about that. So in keeping with that, I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you in just a second or two the latest forecast modeling for tropical storm. Well, it's now called Tropical Storm Isaias with an S. This is the 8 p.m. from the 8 p.m. Hold on a second. 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Advisory. Hopefully it'll come up here in just a second. There we go. This is the latest at this moment, the latest, as I'm recording this, the latest forecast track for this. And we can see that right now it has sustained winds at this moment of 60 miles per hour, movement northwest at 20 miles an hour. So it has got a pretty decent amount of strength. I said yesterday I didn't think this would be it wouldn't be that bad. Now, having seen this today, I'm not so sure that I can still say that, because we now see that it's forecast to become possibly a hurricane as early as 2 a.m. Saturday, as you can see there on the map. I am going to denote, I'm actually going to do this as I'm talking here, I'm going to draw do bear with me. I'm still kind of getting used to this software. Okay, there we go. So this is where it is now. That may not be the most helpful color. Let me try this. I do apologize. Let me use the color white. I don't think there's any color that could perfectly get this, but let's just stick with white. So at 8 p.m. Thursday, which is the last hour and a half, it was basically centered right over the northern end of looks like it's straddling the border of the northern side of Haiti and Dominican Republic, the northern edge of the border they share on that island. By 2 p.m. Friday, we see it coming up, looks like Turks and Caicos. And then, as I said, 2 p.m. Friday will be Turks and Caicos. 2 a.m. Saturday, it will be forecast to be a hurricane, and that will be basically the southern side of the Bahamas. And this is what we're going to have to watch as far as the United States is concerned. We're going to have to watch it carefully, as especially going into daytime Saturday, we're going to see it start to make its its closest approach to Florida. Right now, it's forecast. The center of the cone is supposed to keep it right offshore of Florida, but that, at this point, with it being forecast to be a hurricane and also so close to making landfall. In fact, it looks so close. I mean, part of the eye might even make a landfall, or for all intents and purposes, come ashore. But this is 2 p.m. Saturday, and at this point, it's basically around Nassau. 2 a.m. Sunday, it is basically right about here. That's going to put it about on the. I'm trying to think. Maybe Melbourne, or what other cities is in that area? Vero Beach, maybe. Basically West Palm Beach north. Then it'll be along the Space Coast going up towards Daytona, 2 p.m. Sunday. Basically, and then between 2 p.m. Sunday and 2 p.m. Monday, we can see it make its closest approach to places like Flagler Beach, St. Augustine, Jacksonville, Brunswick, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Hilton Head, Edisto Beach, Charleston, Myrtle Beach. And then by 2 p.m. Monday, it's basically forecast to be right along the border, just offshore of Myrtle Beach, perhaps along the North and South Carolina border, just offshore from that. And then we'll see it perhaps come ashore in North Carolina briefly. It'll kind of skirt the coast. This is about the center. So if you, it's not hard to imagine. Let me see if I can draw that in a different color. So imagine this. So assuming it takes a more center approach along this track and it doesn't change, we could be seeing Camp Lejeune, Jacksonville. Obviously, the Outer Banks are unquestionably going to be impacted unless this changes significantly. And also Kill Double Hills, Nags Head, and then it'll basically kind of go on up the coast. Let me clear my drawings and then see if I can. There we go. 2 p.m. Tuesday, it's coming up along the New England coast. But again, this is going to be a very, very difficult hurricane for them to track because there's so many variables in play here. I just added their line so you can kind of see a more defined center of the track. Now, as I said yesterday, just because the center of this cone has it basically, as you see there on your screen, all this cone says really is that within this zone could be where the center is. So you could be having hurricane or tropical storm conditions well outside this cone. And obviously inherently this cone could also mean this. Let's say, for instance, and I'll show you the other modeling in just a moment, but let's say I'm going to use black. It may not come out right, but it could take this kind of track, bring it along, right into Miami, over the peninsula, and then over East Central Carolinas. I mean, it could do that, or theoretically, it could do something like this. Just stay right offshore. Obviously it'd be devastating to the Bahamas if it takes that kind of track. It'll be pretty bad, the track it's supposed to take, as it were now. But this just shows you that this is a very serious hurricane, or right now it's tropical storm, but it's forecast to become a hurricane by Saturday. And it's something going to have to watch pretty closely here. Let me pull this up. This is another product that the National Hurricane Center offers. This is the earliest reasonable arrival time of tropical storm force winds. So they say sometime between Friday 8 p.m. and Saturday 8 a.m. we could be seeing an onset of tropical storm force winds in South Florida. And then you can look at all this. You can pause this video if you want to and figure out how this interacts with where you are or what have you. So if you're watching this, that is, in this general area of the country. Now, let me show you one more product, if I can. Wind speed probabilities. I do have other things to show you in just a moment. We have about 90%. See this, basically this violet purple. That's 90 percentile or 90% probability of tropical storm force winds, basically a given. We see that over much of, I believe it's called Hispaniola, but Dominican Republic, up towards perhaps Turks and Caicos, parts of it at least. And then we can see here, basically anything in yellow is what you really have to kind of watch out for. And we see that all of the pretty much with few exceptions, basically the entire eastern coast from about Miami or perhaps Homestead up to as far north as the Virginia, North Carolina border, And of course, all this can change as time goes on. We really, it's really hard to say right now how fast or how fast this could change, how much it can change. But at this moment, this is what we're seeing um, for the probabilities. Now, let me bring up another product here from a different website. This is from myfoxhurricane.com. This is their current computer modeling. We see that this is kind of just running a number of different models, and it populates these lines that kind of that say, okay, this computer model says this way, another computer model may say that way, and we're seeing this kind of synchronization of all this put together. And basically, what we're seeing is there's a general agreement for forecast modeling, as far as it going perhaps Turks and Caicos up to the Bahamas. And then we start to see a lot of disagreement. We have this one model that takes it well off over to the west, over into the or I should say, Gulf of Mexico. We see, at least it looks like a couple of models want it to put it right over the Florida Peninsula. But then we see a bigger cluster, at least to about West Palm Beach. You'll keep it the center right offshore. But obviously at this kind of proximity, you could be seeing storm surge of certain varying degrees. Not mean to fearmonger, but that is a reality with these kind of hurricanes. And then as we get further north, there's further disagreement. And at this point, it's really kind of hard to say which one is in most agreement. But it does seem that a number of these models want to take it over into North Carolina. That is the eastern side of the state in a few days. We'll have to see how this plays out. Let me show you this as well. This is, let me rewind it. This is the operational model, also from My Fox Hurricane. Pardon me. This is basically one model that kind of shows us the sea level pressure, the millibars, I believe, is that what that stands for. And basically, the best way I can think to say this is, you see this graph right here, and you want the higher the number, the better conditions, the lower the number, the worst conditions. Okay, hopefully that makes a degree of sense. So if you have 980 millibars, that's pretty bad. If it's 1040 millibars, you're in pretty good shape, but or at least in better shape than down here. Obviously, you would rather have it, I think, in a mid-level, but that's just to say you have two extremes, and you have the low extreme, and that's absolutely, as far as hurricanes are concerned, that's not what you want. And I should have said that from the outset. You don't want it, you kind of want it in the mid-range. You don't want it all the way down below 1,000 and all that stuff. But so we see here, let me just take it all the way back. Oh, this thing is kind of goofing around a little bit. Okay, there we go. Hold on a second. This is, it's got a mind of its own right now. I do apologize. Okay, this is the 30th of July. That's today. It shows it had this fairly defined area of circulation. And of course, this is actually a little old because now it's basically further north, right about here. I don't know if my mouse is on screen, but let me see if I can put that in there. So basically, it's wanting to put it right there. I do apologize. I've got to just come on here and practice. All right, there we go. Let's try that. So right there is basically where it was showing the center circulation, but it's actually, as of right now, right about here. And by the time you see this, it might be a little past that. I'm going to try to get this video out as quickly as I can, that is. And now let me show you this. Let me take it forward. And this is 1 day out. This is basically just above Cuba on the eastern side, about Turks and Caicos. That's tomorrow. And then 1st of August, it's well, I mean, look at it. Oh, and that's another thing I need to point out. The closer the lines are together, that's not good. You don't want to see that. You want to see it nice and open like up here. And when you see this clustering going on, that's a problem. So the 1st of August, we see it basically over the Bahamas. just offshore of Florida. And then the 2nd of August, it's this. Now, of course, this is just a model, but this could change. But it's wanting to have it basically be right on the line or just a hair offshore from Florida, but it is so close. You might as well say it's making landfall pretty much, or whether it's official or not, we don't. It's hard to say. But even if it doesn't officially make landfall in Florida, we could be seeing real problems in the state of Florida, especially along the eastern coast. So this is the 2nd of August. Now let me take it up to the 3rd of August. And it's kind of wanting to make it slow down a little bit. Now it's showing it kind of along near maybe let's see, Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, up towards maybe St. Augustine or Jacksonville. That's August 3rd. Now August 4th, it jumps forward to be basically along the Carolina coast, perhaps worryingly. I shouldn't say worryingly, but the area of concern, if you will, is Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, all that area. And you see at this point, there's so much clustering of lines that it's basically hard to distinguish lines the closer in you get. So that tells you there's a pretty well-defined system here. And then take it up to August. Well, did it really? Okay. I don't know why it skipped a few days like that. Okay. So August 4th. Okay, this thing isn't perfect. Okay, August 5th, now it has it moving faster up along the New England coast. And in another day on August 6th, that is, I believe that's this system. I'm not sure what this is, but over here, it kind of looks like it wants to bring it up into New Brunswick, maybe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think New Brunswick, maybe Newfoundland, maybe on the doorstep of Newfoundland. I hope I remember that right. But my point is that we're going to have to watch this pretty carefully. Obviously, you need to be preparing for this. Hopefully, you have supplies. If you're in Florida, hopefully you still have some from all the panic buying of a few months ago. Obviously, now let's look at Bentusky here, and it appropriately shows the center of the tropical storm on the north side of Dominican Republic, along the border with with Haiti almost. And now let me actually switch over to wind speeds. This is okay. So let's advance it forward about one day out. So Friday late PM, Friday 9 p.m. we see it, and you can see this winds are kind of turning into itself. Turks and Caicos here, that's obviously not good. You don't want to see that. And then Saturday looks like, ooh, yeah, it's already up here to Florida. Well, let's see. Okay, so it wants to put it right about here along the westernmost edge of the Bahamas. I mean, that is so close. I mean, right here at this distance, you've almost got the eye wall coming ashore. You might even have it come ashore just a little bit at this distance. So August 2nd, okay, let's only take it up to 5 a.m. Sunday. I don't want it moving that much. I want to see how it shows it, if it has it come ashore at all in Florida. At this point, it's still wanting to say it's right offshore, but again, it's so close you could be seeing the eye wall partially come ashore. It's hard to say. It's just going to be really close based on this. And of course, this could change. 11 a.m. Sunday, not much change. 2 p.m. Okay, let's just take it on up to 8 p.m. because that, yeah, it's at this point. It's starting to kind of pull off. It's not quite as close to the Florida coast at this point, but obviously at this proximity, you could be seeing a lot. I mean, look at the direction of the winds. You could be seeing a lot of water get moved this way, and that's not what you want. And if it comes, I don't know what the high and low tide times are, but you have to be watching that too. About you don't want it doing this during high tide. I'll put it to you that way. 11 p.m. Sunday. Again, this is a model. Sometimes there's a little fluke here and there because I don't think in 3 hours it's going to do that. But this just take this as a general idea of what it could do. And at this point, this is really concerning because look at this. We got Charleston right here, Savannah, Hilton Head, Edisville Beach, I think Georgetown, Myrtle Beach. You got all these areas of interest up there, and you got this thing. And at this point, the winds are really, really going up, and you've also got this really, really robust eye wall potentially. Let's take it up to Monday, August August the 3rd. Um, let's see, 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. Monday. At this point, it's moving further along. You could be seeing it. I mean, at this point, I mean, if you're in Myrtle Beach, that is not good. I mean, let's see. It's really, really not. You've got this eye wall almost ashore at this point. I mean, it's not good. Okay, one more day out. Okay, that's a little too far because this is a forecast modeling after all. 8 p.m. Monday. Okay, so again, it's trying to move it along a little faster than. Okay, so again, just give it as a general idea. And this model, this is what really concerns me. You've got the center of circulation basically coming ashore right over Jacksonville and Camp Lejeune potentially. I mean, that general area, that's really not good. 2 p.m. Let's take it up to 2 p.m. again. Okay, okay, there's no question. This thing is wanting to put it right over North Carolina on the eastern side. 5 p.m. It's about to reemerge into the open waters right around the Virginia, North Carolina line, potentially around Virginia Beach. 8 p.m. It's basically along the coast, but is over the water again. And this is still, I mean, wow, that's really well defined for what it's been through. I mean, if it emerges from land and doing that, that's not good because the land is supposed to weaken it. And now you got it coming up here towards New Jersey potentially. And this is Tuesday, the 4th of August at 2 a.m. And it's basically knocking on the doorstep of Long Island at 2 a.m. Tuesday, that is. At 5 a.m., it's basically threatening to come. It's right on the line between Rhode Island and Massachusetts, although there's significant impacts to Connecticut as well, we should mention, and I'm sure Long Island. Okay, take it forward to 11 a.m. Let's see what a few hours out will do. Okay, maybe that's a little too much. Let's see, 8 a.m. Okay, go back to 5 a.m. Okay, so it's hard to avoid saying, to me, it looks like it wants to make landfall in Massachusetts as well. And then almost done. It wants to come up here. I mean, look at this. I mean, even this far north. I mean, at this far north, it's hard for it to. I would say at this point, it's probably going to be what do they call it? But there's a categorization. Once it starts to lose tropical characteristics, they call it something else. 2 p.m. Tuesday, you see it knocking on a doorstep of Canada. Looks like, I think this is, I want to say Nova Scotia. I hope I didn't just embarrass myself. I think that's Nova Scotia. 5 p.m. And again, I don't know which time zone this is. So again, just take this as a general idea as to what we could see conditions wise, not to say it'd be this timing. And then it's basically over land in Canada at this point, perhaps Nova Scotia. And then basically it's in this general area, it looks like. But obviously it's starting to weaken significantly at that point. So I think that's about I think that's about it. Let me okay, yes, I think that's it. But I think it's important to keep aware of this and understand what's going on because as this storm continues to develop, a lot of things can change. ocean waters, winds directions, wind speed. There's a lot of variables in play here. You got the, like dust in the air. There's a lot of things that can make an impact to this storm. So all this can change. This isn't, I would expect a lot of this to change before it's all said and done. We could see it come ashore in Florida, or we could go back out to the Atlantic. It's really just hard to say. Remember, you got that one stream model wanting to put it over into Gulf of Mexico. So, it's just something you have to watch continuously, and it continuously changes. So on that note, I think I'll wrap it up here. I've got a regular, well, I say regular, but a full broadcast, if you will, of the Citizen Report coming up perhaps tomorrow. I'm going to be interviewing a friend of mine pretty soon. And I think I'll be quite interesting, to say the least. I think it'll be pretty fun to interview him. And it has to do with that experience over masks yesterday. So anyways, I hope this has been informative and helpful. And thank you for watching the Citizen Report and special bulletin for this tropical update. And please be safe out there and keep weather aware, and we'll keep you updated on major developments with that here on the Citizen Report. Don't forget our website as well, the Citizen Report, I should say, thecitizenreport.weebly.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Parler at Real Jonathan Shannon. And to all of you at home, thank you for watching. And for David Heller and myself, have a great evening. And I will see you right back here again next time. Have a great night, everyone.